For most NFL teams, the season is already over, but not for your Denver Broncos. They absolutely crushed their biggest division rivals, the Kansas City Chiefs. And before anyone says, oh, they only played backups, remember that even the national media was still picking the Chiefs to beat the Broncos. But guess what? The Broncos came out on top, and now they're headed to the playoffs. The next challenge? The Buffalo Bills. We've got an exciting week ahead as we prepare for that game, and honestly, I'm not worried. The Bills are a strong team, but I believe this is a great matchup for the Broncos. Now, let's break down what just happened in that incredible game. At the start of the season, many experts predicted the Broncos would win only 5 games. Well, we showed them wrong by doubling that number. One of our biggest goals this year was to answer the big question. Is B. Nix the joke that some draft analysts made him out to be? Or is he the real deal, like Coach Sean Payton said? The franchise quarterback he wanted more than anyone else, even more than highly touted prospects like Drake May or Caleb Williams. Today, we're witnessing something incredible. B. Nix has already outperformed John Elway in most touchdowns thrown in a single season. Yes, I know the eras are different, and there are more games now, but for a rookie to make his mark like this with 32 touchdowns, more than Russell Wilson even did at the peak of his career, is nothing short of insane. We were all expecting vintage Russell Wilson, and yet here's B. Nix, proving himself to be something special. Just think about where his career is headed. The confidence he's building is incredible, especially after the last 2 games. And honestly, we haven't even scratched the surface of his potential yet. This kid is on fire, and it's exciting to think about what he'll do in the future, including the playoffs. He's also making history as the rookie with the most touchdown passes at home. The Broncos have exercised their demons today, finally breaking free from the struggles of the past few seasons. It's been forever since we had 2 1,000-yard receivers, but Cortland Sutton made that happen this year. And remember when we didn't have a player with double-digit sacks since Bradley Chubb? Well, Nick Bonitto hit that mark several games ago. We're also seeing players like Zach Allen, Jonathan Cooper, and Jonah Ellis step up and make huge impacts. But the biggest thing we've broken through this year? The playoff drought that's been hanging over us since Super Bowl 50 in 2015? Well, the drought is over. Next week, we're facing a team we beat last year, even when we were considered a much weaker squad. Coming into the season, all the talk was about Caleb Williams being a once-in-a-generation quarterback. Meanwhile, B. Nix was laughed at by many, with people saying we only drafted him because he happened to be a QB. They said we should have gone for players like Brock Bowers instead. But Sean Payton, from the very beginning, was clear. B. Nix was his future, just like Drew Brees was in New Orleans. It was amazing to finally have Jim Nantz and Tony Romo calling a game at home again. It's been over 5 years since they've been here, mostly because the Broncos have been irrelevant for too long. But hearing Nantz and Romo echo what we've all been saying in Denver was a huge moment. They pointed out how Sean Payton is making this team compete with the biggest dead cap in NFL history. He's leading us to the playoffs and even shutting out division rivals with one hand tied behind his back. Imagine what we'll do when this team is fully firing on all cylinders. And speaking of B. Nix, he's not just having a good rookie season, he's having an historic one. He's thrown more touchdowns and more passing yards than any other rookie in the entire NFL. Remember when everyone laughed at the Broncos for drafting him? Who's laughing now? It sure isn't us. In fact, we're the ones laughing now, and it's the perfect reminder to stick to our own beliefs and not be discouraged by the headlines from those so-called experts or websites like ESPN. Some people out there still don't even know who your team is, but let me tell you, this Denver Broncos squad is young and hungry. I was really moved when I saw that video of Sean Payton talking about the team photo. He said, "Don't lose this one. I've been in team photos for 52 years, going back to when I was 8 years old. And when I handed out this year's team photo, I told them, don't lose this one. It's going to be one you'll want to remember. Why? Because we haven't even reached our ceiling yet. This team is clicking at the perfect time, and we're about to make some serious noise. It's our 3rd time going for the playoffs, and this time, we're busting the door down with confidence. We're heading to Buffalo with a lot of momentum, and we're just hitting our stride. Look at the defensive players we have. Nick Bonitto, arguably the best edge rusher in the game, the best cornerback in the league, and the best rookie quarterback in the game. Why can't we make some serious noise? Why can't we be a tough out for any team? It's wild to think about, and I can't wait for this week to unfold. Another narrative that's been absolutely shattered this season is the idea that Sean Payton can't connect with younger players. People thought you needed a cool coach like Mike McDaniel, the guy with slicked back hair who looks like he's a DJ. But Payton has proven he knows exactly how to lead this team, and it's showing on the field. Mike McDaniel may have cool music and a laid back vibe, but Sean Payton is doing something even more impressive. He's tough on his players, holding them accountable, yet he's also incredibly strategic. You see him on the sideline, drawing up a special play to ensure Cortland Sutton gets his due. That's the kind of coaching that makes players want to run through a wall for him. They love Payton, and he's got that perfect balance, just like Michael Scott said. Is it better to be feared or loved? Why not both? Payton embodies that, earning both respect and affection from his team. It's exciting to see this kind of leadership, and it bodes well for this year and for many years to come. Another cool thing that stood out to me was hearing Jim Nantz call our defensive line the Denver Demolition Crew. It was awesome to hear that, especially since he doesn't cover this team often and probably didn't know all their names, something that's starting to change. But Denver Demolition Crew really fits. This group is smashing records. They've already set the all-time sack record for a Broncos squad, which is insane when you think back to those amazing defenses we had with Malik Jackson, Von Miller, and DeMarcus Ware. That was a scary rush, and now we've got a new, powerful unit that's just as disruptive. We've seen the Broncos make life miserable for some of the best quarterbacks in the league. Remember how we gave Tom Brady fits and completely ruined Cam Newton's career? Well, now we've got a defense that's even better at getting to the quarterback than that legendary squad. Watch out, Josh Allen. You're not going to like how often you'll be seeing Nick Bonitto, Jonathan Cooper, Jonah Ellis, and Zach Allen in your backfield. It's going to be a long, tough day for you when we face off in Buffalo. And it's not just about B. Nix being the best rookie quarterback this year. His numbers are putting him among the all-time greats. Right now, he's only behind Justin Herbert and Cam Newton for the best rookie seasons of all time. That's historic. Just think about it. What did Russell Wilson do with this same group of players last year? Nothing close to the production B. Nix is putting up. That's what's so exciting. Imagine what's coming next as we keep unlocking the potential of this offense. We've only just started seeing what Marvin Mims can do, and Troy Franklin is about to get more involved. Mims had a 100-yard game against Washington last year, and that was just a glimpse of what he's capable of. I was so excited to see Marvin Mims finally making a real impact. We knew from the start that he could be a game changer, but for a while, we kind of got away from using him. Well, now we're back on track, and Sean Payton recognizes just how much of a threat Mims can be. What's even more exciting is that this game got so out of hand that we actually eased up a bit and left some plays on the table. That's how dominant the Broncos were. And here's what's really different about this year. Last night, all of us in Broncos country went to bed nervous. We woke up nervous, knowing that everything was on the line. But now, we're realizing how much things have changed. Sean Payton has shaken off all the demons of the past, and this is not your grandmother's or your uncle's Broncos team. This is your Denver Broncos, and under Payton, we're a completely different squad. He's winning games that no one thought we had a chance in, like that tough East Coast road trip to Tampa. And he's also winning the games we should win, which we used to let slip away. How many times this year have you heard a Broncos player or Payton himself say, "Yeah, we wouldn't have won that game last year"? That's what's so exciting. This team is going to be a terrifying matchup in the playoffs. So, let me know in the comments, how are you feeling about this year? For the first time in nearly a decade, your Denver Broncos are back. It feels so good to be back, and it feels even better to be here with all of you. We've got an amazing week of content ahead, and I want to thank you for riding with me all year long. I'm going to ease up on the titles now because, at last, the Denver Broncos are doing exactly what we all knew they could do. This isn't a surprise to us, but it still feels like a shock to the national media. And now, we're on to the Buffalo Bills. It's been a roller coaster of a season, but we've believed in this team from the start, and now it's all coming together. Make sure you like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the amazing content coming your way.